It's time to prepare for something massive. It's time to prepare for something huge that's about to come. It's time to prepare for the entertainment boom. Hello, my name's Ashley Green, and this is the Successful Mentalist podcast. Of course, I'm joined by the wonderful mindset guru that is Aidan O'Sullivan, and today I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you guys. You know, with every single podcast episode, we plan out everything. We go, what are we going to talk about today? What are we going to talk about? Blah, 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 blah. And with this, we went, you know what? What we had planned, we're going to scrap that. We're going to throw it out the window. Instead, we're going to present you with something which is going to be epic and so much useful for each and every one of you. And in fact, today we are going to cover the 4 main pillars of TSM, talking about performance, business, mindset, and health, and how we can use all of that to really help you prepare and optimize everything for the entertainment boom that's about to happen.
But this is it, I think, for a precursor for all of this. It's really important to know that the entertainment industry is about to get the biggest takeoff, perhaps in history, because we've had this period of coming up to 2 years of chaos across the world where entertainment has been wiped to the floor. Heck, I don't need to tell other entertainers and you listeners that. Like, it's been crazy, but people are now desperate to get back out, to get celebrating, to be entertained and enjoy celebrations. We are expecting the most gigs to just appear out of nowhere. We're expecting the weirdest of gigs to appear out of nowhere. We're also expecting the most complicated of gigs to appear out of nowhere, with all the regulations and the rules and everything that we're going to have to abide by. Either way, we are about to have a boom in this entertainment industry. And when it comes down to it, we had a little chat about this episode just before we scrapped it and went for something different. And we actually realised that there are those 4 key areas that we talk about at TSM. There are really important things that you need to actually spend some time doing and be aware of and prepare for ahead of this boom that's coming within the next, well, who knows, few months, I expect. And that's really what we're going to spend a lot of time talking about today. So let's kick things off then straight away with performance skills. Performances. What on earth do we need to do as we prepare for our performances?
Well, you know, Aidan, there's 2 main types of people. There's these virtual magicians like myself, and there's those people who don't like virtual stuff. Like, virtual entertainment isn't for them. People who have been sat there and have not had the luxury of being able to perform over and over again to keep up that performance muscle, that kind of quick thinking, and even the moves themselves, and also just being used to and maintaining the way they present their material. And even those, and I'm just going to throw it out there, how many times have we spoken to people who are doing virtual entertainment at the moment, and they've actually said that they're scared of going back to the real world because they feel like they've lost what it is like to perform in person? So let's address this now. What can you actually do? It's simple. Identify it and start taking action. Start practicing and start working on things which you need to do. What are you currently struggling on? What do you think you're currently struggling on? Is it the moves themselves? Is it that technical ability? Or are you worried about the performances themselves? When you can identify it, now you can start to practice it. The best way of doing that? Go out and find some family members, some friends, people who you might be used to performing to. Heck, we even recommend getting on like virtual entertainment. Just if you don't want to do it as a thing, it's still a great way of keeping up that practice. And the second thing, if you really have no one to perform to, if you really have no one to really kind of practice all of your material, my favorite thing is to creatively visualize it. Practice everything in my head, which we can talk about in a second. But really, it goes beyond that, and it goes just beyond practicing in general. There's so many more things to consider than just, oh yeah, we just need to practice to make sure we're up to our standards as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we've got to get up to scratch, so we're not that rusty performer or we're out of touch with it all. But I think beyond that as well, like we mentioned it a little while ago, but you got to pay attention to the rules. At the end of the day, that is something that many people are excited about, going back into this new normal, when actually the truth is this new normal isn't going to feel normal in the slightest. We may be wearing masks, or there may still be distances in place. There could be anything. Who knows where? And again, it's going to vary wherever in the world you actually are and you're performing. So you need to be really aware of that. If you're a traveling performer, you go to different countries, or you go different areas of the country that might have different rules, and you don't prepare for it, you could be in for a shock. All it takes is for you to step one step closer to somebody than you're allowed, and things could get quite nasty really, really quickly. So actually being able to look at your performances overall and making sure that they're not only safe in terms of keeping yourself safe and other people safe given the state of the world, but also actually like safe from the legal stuff. Make sure that you're abiding by the laws and actually making sure your performances are good in that respect as well. So make sure that you're following the rules and also following them really well as a performer.
Yeah, Aidan, I mean, this is something which you know that I've been looking at for quite a while now. At the time of recording this, within 2 days, I'm going back to performing socially distanced. And for me, all of the old material I used to do, think about it, all the mentalists out there will know the pain. No more billets! No more crazy £1,000 impression pad, which I bought at Blackpool and was only able to use for 2 weeks, and then we went into a lockdown because I can't now hand out a pen to people. And that lab coat device is sat on my shelf. One day I'll use it. One day I will use this, Aidan. It will be a worthwhile investment. But genuinely, it's taken me a while to really think about the type of material that is suited. And the way I went about this was I was thinking, what do I usually perform? What have I currently got? What works? What can I take out? Okay. And I know we focus on just like looking at the tricks last, but I really found it easy to just literally, in this aspect of looking at, hey, where are there going to be the biggest problems within the tricks and methods? I actually looked at it from the reverse of what we usually say. I looked at the tricks, I looked at the methods themselves, and I broke down every single specific routine, trick, effect that I'd done, and I went, where is there contact? Where do I need to stand close to people? All the tricks and effects that passed that, I went, brilliant, this is what I've got. I then took the next patch. Okay, these are the ones which have contact. I've got to get someone to sign something, write down something. I've got to be able to do a switch. They've got to grab something. The stuff where I've got to stand closer than 2 meters. The stuff where there's actual contact, which again breaks all those restrictions. I have to be performing 2 meters away with no contact over a mask, a visor, which I'll be wearing. And so I'm having to perform. So anything that doesn't work, I'm now looking at it. What can I adapt? Are there things that I can do differently? I.e., I can't get someone to draw something down on billets. What do I do in that routine? I get them to draw stuff down electronically on their phone. I start thinking creatively and just think, what little tweaks, what easy tweaks can I do instead of in the material that I was already doing? Once I've tweaked that, I've moved that across, and then I've got the other material, which naturally we all going to have, which, yeah, no, that is impossible. I can't perform that at the moment. We just leave that and wait for the COVID times to end. But with all of that material, I took it, I looked at it, and I started to build up new routines, fresh routines, because one of the things that we don't want to be going out there, one of the things which we've mentioned time and time again on the podcast, Aidan, those magicians who just go out and just perform tricks. Here's a trick, here's a trick, here's a trick, here's a trick. Yeah, audience like it because they don't know anything different. But you can make it so much better if you actually build up decent routines, decent performances, start applying your character, start focusing on the entertainment over the double lift. And it might be easy for you to think, okay, these tricks works, brilliant, I'll just do those. But start building routines, start using all of this and start focusing on an actual routine, a structure, or a show that actually works. I don't want to be going out in my residency in 2 days' time and just be doing tricks, because I'm going to find it boring personally, and my audiences are going to know that's not the usual Ashley Green mind reader style of entertainment, and then it's going to seem like I've just got worse during lockdown. I don't want that. I want to go back with a boom. So now that I've distance all my material, I'm really building up the routines, focusing, and again applying my character, make sure it's consistent. You want any help? We've done loads of episodes in the past. I mean, some of our very, very early on episodes were all about character, how we reveal information. But I'm looking at this, I'm trying to apply that, and now I'm actually building bespoke performances which are suited to these modern day situations of which I'm going to have to be performing in. But yeah, you've also outlined something there, Aidan, which is, I never thought we'd have to do this when I got into magic. Keeping up to date with all of these restrictions, the regulations, the news. I don't want to be going to a gig and I do something and it turns out, oh, Boris said I'm not meant to be doing that. And the people at that gig getting offended or scared or not feeling safe. I want to make sure my priority is on the audience. At the end of the day, it's an audience experience. My focus is on them, letting them have a good time. And if they're feeling unsafe, then heck, they're not even going to enjoy the entertainment. My priority is now in making people feel safe and having a good time. So it's really important that I'm looking at all of this within everything that I'm currently performing.
I think that actually sums up and really brings us quite nicely into the second pillar of TSM, really looking at your actual business. Now, a lot of people are of the mindset, and we've spoken to a few people that are of the mindset that actually when the world goes back and starts opening back up again, you've got to restart like your entire grind for your entertainment business. You've got to restart the entire process because no one will remember you, because apparently a single year of no entertainment is enough to wipe you out from the surface of somebody's mind. And if that has been the case, maybe that's a good thing for you to actually realise that, oh, okay, I didn't do a good enough job of staying in their mind as a performer, as a magician, a mentalist, whatever you want to call yourself. But actually moving forwards, looking at your business and thinking, what on earth do I need to do to actually make it work? What do I actually need to do? Now, maybe, again, if you want to get really granular and stick looking at the rules and all of that kind of stuff, maybe events will be capped at just a few people. And as a result, budgets for certain events are going to be capped at a smaller amount than if it was a party for several hundred people. It might just be a party for 10 or a party for 20. And so you've got to be mindful of that, actually looking at, sure, what are the budgets going to be like? Are your clients going to be of the mindset that they're trying to save money, or they've only got an absolute limit? Or are they happy to splash out and spend a bit more to recover for the year of no live entertainment that they've just had or experienced in whatever form? So actually being able to look at your business and look overall, like, what do I actually need to do to make this work? It's a really good question, and there's a few sort of slip-ups. I don't want to say they're problems or anything like that, but there's a few slip-ups people make when it comes to what do I actually need to do to make this work. And the first slip-up is to go straight back to their old ways, like the pre-pandemic stuff, and actually have a look at what was I doing beforehand. Right, okay, let's pick this back up again. Let's get back onto that game of again, I'm just going to use social media because we all know at this point I flipping hate it. But people go back and think, oh yeah, I'm going to get back on posting on my Instagram 500 times a day and yeah, share 2 Facebook lives while I'm sleeping and oh God knows, it's stupid. It's stupid, okay? It's stupid. But for some people, that might be the way forward. That might be what you're into, and you go and do all of that. But slipping back into what worked back then probably won't get you any further. You know, there's a really great quote that I actually can't remember where it came from, but essentially it reads, what got you here won't get you there. What got you here won't get you there. What got you to this point in your entertainment business is not going to be the same thing that will get you thriving and hustle free. It's not going to be the thing that will get you unlocked to that next sort of real door, if you like, to this new wave of entertainment. And that's really the biggest slip up ultimately. Like, people not realizing that actually now is a great time to just focus on what I want to do. Do I want to be messing around playing with algorithms that the owners I don't even know, or do I want to spend all of my life writing blog entry after blog entry so I can set up Facebook ad after Facebook ad, or Google ads, or whatever the software is that you're using? Do you want to be doing all of that, or do you actually just want to be able to sit and do the things that you enjoy the most, whether that's performing just in and of itself? Because if you want to go out there and perform, and this is where people will probably get surprised, and I know that from our past conversations over the past few years, Ashley, like, we've had this surprise ourselves, but if you want to just perform more and get more gigs by performing, you can. You don't need to do anything else. You can go and perform more. And heck, if you don't even want to perform more and you want to get more gigs, well, you can go and talk to people and you will get some gigs. Now, we can help you do that, and we can share all of that. Again, jump back to, I believe it was episodes 40 to 42. We actually outlined step by step over those 3 episodes our system for networking. But again, I feel like I'm rambling at this point. But the key here is just actually look at what you want to do and just do that. Put everything else in the bin, because it's probably not relevant and it probably doesn't work the same. Think if you are. And again, I'm just going to throw in another stab at the social media, because this is going to be an important point. 1 year ago, or just over 1 year ago, these social media platforms had a field day, because they realised that the world was about to jump for at least a year into doing nothing but sit on social media. So they got lucky in that regards. And they had users' attention like mad. And so the systems changed, the algorithms will have all changed, the actual features and functionality and what you're supposed to do on the platforms will change. Heck, TikTok pretty much came out of nowhere and became a huge thing. And that's going to change as you move forwards. As people start, my expectation is that people will start to drift back and pull back from social media. But again, I could be completely wrong there. But the key I'm trying to make here is that social media changed about a year ago. So it's probably going to be different, especially if you're picking it back up from where it was pre-pandemic. It probably just won't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And, you've touched on something there. Doing what you enjoy. Isn't that what we've been spending the past year, really focusing and dialing in on the things that we enjoy, the things which are going to move the needle the most? And you've touched on something again. What we do to get gigs is networking, because we know it's a thing which we enjoy the most and it pushes the needle. People often ask us, so what is your secret formula to booking gigs? What is your secret formula to opening up opportunities? And we're literally like, networking, talking to people. We don't spend money on ads. We don't do all these fancy things. We talk to people and we get all the gigs we need from that. Because we've identified what we enjoy. It's a thing that pushes the needle the most, and it's a thing which we have really refined down, and it's now fun. It's enjoyable. And this is something which we're currently doing, isn't it, Aidan? To actually prepare for the boom that's about to happen. We know it's going to happen, which is why we're doing this episode. So, what I'm currently doing is I'm talking to everyone in my network. I think about a month ago, wasn't it? I put on a free virtual show for everyone I've ever performed to. It was a fantastic opportunity for me to literally phone round every single person that I've ever performed to. Hey, how you doing? Do you want to come to this free show? Yeah, no way. And I made I think $3,000 from that out of bookings. Insane. Just from speaking to people, just from having a chat, and just from this networking, because it's going to open up other opportunities. And then there's other things. I've been chatting to local business groups, local groups. I've been helping them out, just having friendly chats, because I know the people within those groups are connected to the quite high-paying companies which I want to perform at. So I've been sneaking my way and getting in there. I'm just now on people's radars. I'm in the back of their mind. The wheels are in motion, and now I'm further ahead than all of the people who are just kind of sat there waiting. Yep, the gigs will roll in. The gigs will roll in. I hate that, Aidan, when people say, the gigs aren't rolling in at the moment. What do you mean they're not rolling in? You're not doing anything. How many people do we know, Aidan, that when they've got a new product, they post on social media, yes, I'm now offering this tarot reading workshop. And then they say, didn't work, gigs weren't rolling in. Do you really think one social media post is enough? No. How many people are we seeing it now? People think they're getting ready for the entertainment boom, and they're posting these lovely selfies and photos and promotional images on their Instagram and going, I'm now taking bookings for 2021, 2022, now that the weddings are reopening. My diary's nearly full. Do you really think stuff like that is going to be getting you the gigs? I would argue no. And we already know how much Aidan hates social media from what he's just said and what he's been saying for the past year. We can assume his word would be a stronger no than mine. But guys, really think about this when we're talking about business. What is going to move the needle for me and Aidan is directly chatting to people, pinning them down for those friendly and unlocking conversations. This is exactly what we are doing as of now to really get those opportunities in.
what is it at the end of the day? And we say social media because it's an easy low-hanging fruit we've spoken about it before and we'll probably mention it again, but yeah, this goes way beyond social media when it comes to have a look at everything you're doing and really have a clear vision of everything that you're doing right now and everything that you want to be doing. Find that gap and just take action on it. If you find that you're doing maybe 50 hours a week of preparing your content or doing stuff in your entertainment business and you'd rather just do 4, that's a gap. How can you build systems? How can you do X, Y, Z to actually get you out of that? Or perhaps you're on the other side. You're spending just 4 hours because you're not doing virtual entertainment. You're not really doing much. You're posting the odd quick colour change on your social media or your YouTube or whatever it is. And you want to be doing more time because you need to be doing more time to get more gigs and stuff. Well, what does that look like? What do you actually want to do? And that is what's going to be able to prepare you for this boom. Like we're seeing it in Learn to Thrive right now, our coaching program. The clients that are actually taking that element and leaning in to actually the prep work are the ones that are already booking gigs. They are already having this massive epic transformation and their business is changing just because they're thinking about and preparing in advance, which seems, and I realise the entire conversation in this episode is about preparing for that entertainment boom. For two people, there's going to be there's going to be really 2 moments. There's going to be that, oh, interesting, we're going to have this entertainment boom, that moment of aha, that insight. And then the rest of this episode is probably going to feel like we're just teaching you how to suck eggs, which is just like, oh yeah, make sure you prepare. Well, obviously I'm going to prepare. Like, why wouldn't I prepare? It's going to, yeah, of course I'm going to prepare. Oh, geez, okay, yep, summer's here, right, I need to do X, Y, Z. Or, oh my gosh, yep, okay, now gigs are happening, I wasn't prepared. Like, we're saying it and going so granular in that sense, just so you're really aware of all of this. But from here, mindset. My favourite thing, but I want to keep this really short because we talk about this for hours, so I want to shut myself up. Mindset is a big one because, as we said earlier, you're not about to go into a new normal. You're about to go into something that is unprecedented, something that has never happened and will probably never happen again. We're about to get the biggest shake-up in the entertainment industry because we're about to be busier than ever before, but at the same time, more complicated than ever before. So you really need to prepare for that. Looking in advance. You need to actually get to that point of, like, I have hated watching the news, like, to the point that I think within the first few weeks of, like, the updates over the course of this crazy pandemic, I stopped watching the news just to keep my mind clear and my mind sane. Like, people tell me what I need to know, that's that. But now I don't have that luxury as we go back into live entertainment. I have to know the rules. I have to know what's going on at any given moment's notice, and that's a mindset shift. Something that we've never done before. We have to prepare again. And the truth is, we don't have to do it alone. Like, we have the entire community as a collective. This is the opportunity now that we should be coming together, even if you're in the same town, the same city, the same area. You might even live literally next door to direct competition. But you need to stop seeing other entertainers as competition and see them as a perfect opportunity for collaboration, for cooperation, and actually using each other to help each other, play to each other's strengths, for God's sake. It's been so, I want to say it, it's been so bitchy over the past year of people just scrapping and this, that, and the other. Like, I know when you started doing virtual shows, Ashley, people absolutely went bizarre, and we don't need to talk about that now, but my God. It was brutal. All because you was doing a suggested donation of more than a £5. Like, it was bloody ridiculous. It was, stupid, absolutely bizarre. But that's not it. That's just one example of countless that have happened over the year and in the industry as a whole. Like, all it takes is a quick browse through a couple of Facebook groups and you're going to see what it's like. But, like, let's scrap that. And I know it's a big ask, and I know many people will be like, oh yeah, shut up, Aidan, as per. But actually, at this point, just realise that other performers are not the evil here. Like, the way you see the community, the way you see other people, is the evil. You are your own evil in this case. Work with other people, connect with other people. Use this as an opportunity to play to each other's strengths, help each other and support each other's weaknesses, and that's what's going to get you through this overall boom that's about to happen. Not alone. You can't do it alone, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you can't. And I really think that is an important key, getting over this kind of toxicity which has built up. If you're not aware of it, honestly, I've been looking at it from the outside, and it's not just you, Aidan, that's seen it. It's mate, I've seen it everywhere. We don't want to be bringing this toxicity into gigs when it starts to become busy, and it's just not going to go down well, and there's going to be multiple problems that kind of come up. We really need to be connecting with a community. So we say on our website, rising tide raises all the boats.
It's exactly that. And you say about toxicity in terms of in a gig, but some people will probably be thinking, oh, well, it's not going to get toxic at a gig, is it? But I want to paint the picture in terms of how I think it could get in the gigs. And it's quite simply, you're trying to compete with other performers. The client is then looking for the best performer, or the best performer for that event. If you guys are scrabbling between you, trying to win over that client, you're not giving your client the value that they actually want and they actually need. You're just trying to outdo the other person, whoever that be, whatever name is, like insert name here. You're trying to be better than the other person and overqualify yourself to land the gig. The client doesn't want that. The client wants the best performer for their event. Show them that. Give them that. If you're doing this backwards and forwards, you already look bad in front of your clients, whether that's consciously, oh my God, he's definitely trying to land this gig. He's trying to, or he's discounting himself. Oh my God, he must be desperate for the gig. Or that could be subconscious. That might be something that they don't even think about. But your actions and your approach to other forms of entertainment and your other performers is definitely going to have a big part in terms of your subconscious and the way you act and behave when actually booking gigs. Like, I think it's as simple as that. If you're trying to outdo other performers, nothing's good is going to come from that.
Yeah. You know, here's an interesting thought that I've just had now. Like, as you're saying that, I was just kind of going over, like, past conversations I've been having with entertainers and magicians in general. And, you know, we're talking about this, and a lot of people listening to this episode, and a lot who aren't, are thinking and going through the same things. Okay, preparation, thinking about entertainment. We all know it's going to happen. We all know it's opening up, but I don't think people are ready mentally. I don't think they're ready there. I don't think people are actually prepared. We can get an idea and think, oh yeah, I can do the weddings. Oh yeah, live corporate events will happen. Oh, I can do my trade shows. Love doing them. But I think we've kind of forgotten what it used to be like, and I don't think people are ready. And I think the people disagreeing with me now, thinking, oh no, I am ready, I think they are probably the ones who, no, you guys are the ones that aren't ready. It's going to be a different world. And remember, we've had the biggest, I'm going to put it in quotation marks, the biggest holiday break. I don't know why I'm making the signals here, because you guys can't see it, it's a bloody podcast. But in quotation marks, the biggest holiday break we've ever had. It's easy to forget what gigs once were like, what they used to be like, how they feel, how demanding they are, what you have to do in those, actually going beyond the tricks and all of these other things, how to make the event successful, how to adapt and how to perform in certain situations, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. All of these things which we just got used to and took for granted in gigs because we were flowing in and out, and we could just do a gig and it would be amazing, and we could adapt to all of these situations which are thrown at us. And I think when we go back, there's going to be a lot of performers that struggle, because they get hit with a new situation, something changes last minute, and they go, what? I mean, this is the case. I don't know, I'm just going to pick the stupid example out of the air. I don't have a dressing room. I'm not doing the show. Or, I mean, they are major kind of examples and changes. But you get the point. I don't think people are ready for the gigs themselves, what they're going to be like. I think we've forgotten. We only remember that they used to be fun. We used to like them. And I think because of that, people are going to find it tough. And I think people aren't prepared mentally, and they're going to find it mentally exhausting, mentally draining. And my predictions are on this. I'm just going to throw out my Ashley Green psychic predictions here. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Ashley Green Predictions, and you can see all of my amazing psychic predictions. Shameless plug. But I'm going to throw it out here. I genuinely think when we start going back, entertainers and magicians, I'm talking about entertainers all over, and also magicians, are going to go back thinking, yeah, I love it, this is what I want to do, get back in the field, I can't wait for it. They go back and realise, oh, this isn't how I remembered it, this isn't as fun as I remembered it, and I feel a lot of people are going to drop off and actually change careers because they're not ready and they've forgotten what it used to be like. What are your thoughts on this, Mr. TSM Mindset Guru?
You know, I haven't considered that before, yet I see that happening. And I think you're right, because it's not the same. It's not what we imagined. I think it's not necessarily the fact that it's different to what it was before, but it'll be something that is different to what we've imagined, because we've all, like, come on, let's be fair. Like, I've done it, you've done it, probably every listener has done it, actually had a vision of what's coming next. Like, when we go, what are our performances going to be like as we go back? What do we want to do? And all of these amazing things. And when that doesn't happen, or when that's different, or there's something about it that isn't quite what you dreamed up, or you creatively visualized for the past 12 months, or however long it's been, I don't even know anymore, the days rolling to one. But if it's not what you vision, you've had that as a sort of a vision, it's almost going to feel like it's a bit of a letdown and a bit of an anticlimax, unless it's better, unless your vision was severely underwhelming and you've actually outdone yourself by getting ready for the entertainment boom. Unless that's the case, I think a lot of people, exactly as you said, that people are going to be underwhelmed, unenthused, and just be a little bit disappointed and disheartened, more importantly, than actually pumped and excited to actually go back and really get. I said I only wanted to talk about mindset for a little while, but at the end of the day, this is the big one, because this one pillar is probably bigger than the other three combined, because it's the one that informs everything. And if you really want to bulletproof this process and touch base with how to go back effectively, the biggest suggestion we could possibly make is to check back in with the reason you're doing it in the first place. Why are you doing entertainment? What is it about entertainment? Magic, mentalism, unicycling, juggling, like you name it, we've got people that do all of that and listening to the show, so thanks for tuning in again. But why do you actually want to do this? Why do you do this in the first place? What is it about this that you enjoy the most? And be real here. Like, don't just say, oh yeah, I love seeing other people smile. I do it for other people's smile. Like, yes, that's good. That's really good that you do it for other people. But what's the why behind that? The why behind the why. Why are you really doing it? Why does you doing card tricks at parties fuel you? Because it should. At the end of the day, that's the reason you got into this. You got into it because it fueled you. What fuels you now? Remember that, and never forget that as you're going forwards. Like, we have lost an awful lot of entertainers, either as entertainers or as unfortunately as people over the past year, because they lost touch with what is actually the reason they're getting into all of this. What is the reason they're doing all of this in the first place? And just when you have that, that's something you can't take away. No, nothing can take that away. The reason why you're doing it in the first place. So lean in with that.
Yeah, so true. You've got to have that bigger vision and that bigger thing more than just, I want to do tricks as a job. You've got to be going a bit beyond. But as well, I think really to end this episode on something which no one speaks about.
I'll tell you what, before we do that, I've noticed that this conversation has gone, like, both of us, for the listeners here, I'm going to paint this picture. As we started this episode, we were sat upright, we were really excited to talk to you, and at this point, it feels like this has just been a moan and a complain and we're spiralling into doom and gloom, and right now we're just sat here, like, like half upset. We're slumped on the chairs, like, oh my god! Like, no, let's pick up the energy for this one. Health is the final pillar. This is important. If you want energy, you gotta look after your health at this point.
There we go. Right, I'm gonna pump up my energy. Ready? Last one. So, we've shown you the doom and gloom, and now we're going to excite you, get you energized. So we're going to redo this podcast. Hello, my name's Ashley Green, and welcome to the Successful Mentalist podcast. We're going to finish today by talking about you and your health, and why you've got to get that ready so that you are prepared. I was going to go down the route of, I am worried, Aidan, about something, but my mind can't escape it. I am worried about people going out there, and they're not prepared physically. We've covered kind of mentally. Doing gigs is the best thing in the world for me. I'm so excited to go back and actually perform in 2 days' time as of recording this, live to real people without looking at bloody pixels on a screen. It's the most exciting thing in the world. But honestly, Aidan, it's exhausting, isn't it? Like being able to stand up and perform and keep going and shouting and being energetic. Having that engaging thing, standing up, running around, being you. Like for me, I'm crazy when I perform. You've seen me running over the stage and doing silly, strange dances and just like here, there, everywhere, bang, 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 bang. Like, to keep that up, my biggest fear is that's going to really have an impact. I worry that when I go back, I'm going to really find that hit on me. Just like, whew, that is exhausting. And I know that a lot of people during lockdown have really said, oh, I've put on the few lockdown pounds. And it's kind of become that joke, which is, everyone's kind of saying, and they've just kind of like sat back, and it's been binging the Netflix and the Disney Plus, which you slammed a little while ago and said that people's brains would melt if they watched Disney Plus.
Turns out, big surprise at the end of The Mandalorian. That was pretty fantastic. I quite enjoyed it. Anyway, yes, back to your point.
There we go. So his brain didn't explode and turn to mush, but still, my biggest fear is that people will go back and they're not actually in like the physical shape to get ready to keep up those energy levels, and they're going to go at it full steam because they're excited, and they're going to get halfway through a gig and be like, I'm struggling. I'm really, really struggling. And we've covered mentally as well, like not being prepared mentally and really thinking about that. But I think this is going to happen. And I'm just shocked that, other places are talking about like getting prepared as we are getting prepared in the business, but no one's talking about getting actually prepared with your health, getting that ready for going back.
Yeah, I think it's really important, again, to preface all of this by saying that health isn't about losing weight and getting ripped. It's like, if that's what you want your health to be, you do that, because that's awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you have to realize that health is so much bigger. Health is not only looking after your immune system. That's not only looking after your energy levels, your actual brain health, your cognitive health. It's so many different things, and you've got to look after all of that for reasons like you've just mentioned, Ashley. You're going to have that dip of like energy thing, and for a lot of people, I've already experienced it myself a little bit, starting to edge back out into the world of live events, is actually that it's such a different lifestyle. It's just a year, and I know I've not really sort of done much of the actual live stuff over the past year for obvious reasons, but it's so different. And like, that is why it's so draining, because it's that huge element of variety. It's like, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared. I've not been training for this. And we joke about it, but I did not prepare for social interaction this way. Like, I didn't know I had to actually talk to other people face to face anytime soon. That's the scary thing. Not the people, but the fact that it's completely different to the norm, what the current or the previous time is. So really actually just looking at health, like what is it that you're actually looking for right now? What do you need to do to optimize your health? What's the biggest struggle in your health right now? For some, it might be losing weight. For others, it might be just actually getting that mental clarity and overcoming brain fog. For others, it might be something completely different. And either way, pick that and start working on that right now, because health is a two-way street. When you improve one system, another will benefit. If you neglect or you damage one system, again, others will get damaged in the process. So just one thing can actually be really high leverage. And again, just pick something and work on that. Build a habit if you want. Just do something right now and ultimately change the dynamic of your health from there.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we've always said this. Health is the most important thing that nobody's ever talking about in the entertainment industry. So I just want to throw it out there for all those people staying up during lockdown till like 3 or 4 a.m. and then going to bed in the morning, waking up in the evening. Maybe that's the thing you need to focus on because you're going to struggle going back to gigs. And, you know, I think the main thing to summarize this, we touch on performance, we touch on business, we touch on mindset, we touch on health. But the main thing, Aidan, is everyone right now, you've got to take action. What is it that you need to start doing today? I don't want you to just have this in the back of your mind, put it off till tomorrow, because tomorrow means never. You're just going to put it off till tomorrow, put that off till tomorrow, put that off till next week, put that off till next month. And as you've already said today, the entertainment boom's going to come around. You're going to think, everyone was telling me to get ready and I didn't. You've got to take action today. Like, come on. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for Aidan. Do it for yourself, because you're doing something which you absolutely love and adore, and you want to be the best possible performer you can be. Show up and have fun. So start taking action today to get ready. And it might be improving your performances, your business, your mindset, or it could just be that simple change within health so that you can show up and you can be better and you can do so much more. And now, usually, Aidan, at the end of these episodes as well, we finish saying one little thing of where people can go to dive a little bit deeper. But we've got 4 things today which people might like. 4 little things which people can go if they want to take this further. So for the people that have kind of listened, performance skills, that is the one thing that I need to do to really improve on. I've got to focus on that. Yes, that is the one thing I am going to do today. Have we got anything that could help them with that, Aidan?
I suppose there's a trusty old PDF ebook called 10 Tips to Improve Your Mentalism that would be fantastic. And if you want a copy of 10 Tips to Improve Your Mentalism, head over to thesuccessfulmentalist.com/free. That's FREE, not the number 3. Number free, not number free. thesuccessfulmentalist.com/free. And you can download that ebook straight away today and you will learn 10 tips to improve your mentalism. I think we sold it on the title, to be honest. Anyway, number 2, call to action. Number 2, business. Ashley, if somebody wants to really double down and improve their entertainment business as a whole, where can we go? Where can they send them?
Yep, just head over to thriveinmagic.com and you'll be able to apply for our elite 7-week coaching course, Learn to Thrive. Obviously, business is something we cover in there. In fact, the course is far much bigger than just business. It covers everything from performance, business, mindset, health, and life in general. But we do cover a lot in business in there, and I know so many people have found that handy with improving fees and that. So yeah, if that's something which you want to take action on, thriveinmagic.com. Aidan, the mindset guru of TSM, if mindset is something which people want to take action on today, where do they go?
Well, if you want to shift your mindset, and as we said in this episode, you can't do it alone. Having a powerful team and a powerful community around you is going to be the most high leverage, highest ROI thing ever, especially now more than ever. Head over to thesuccessfulmentalist.com/community and you'll be able to sign up for our free community, our private social learning community, because Facebook sucks. I'll say it before, I've said it, keep saying it, I hate social media, but essentially come and join this private network. There's no ads, no spammy stuff, but only awesome people from all across the world looking to take their entertainment career to the next level. Call to action number 4, the final piece of this puzzle that we call a podcast episode, apparently. Health. How can we improve our health?
Yep. If you want to improve your health and you too think that health is the most important thing that we're not talking about in the entertainment industry right now, you can head over to our website, thesuccessfulmentalist.com/biohacking. We do weekly live events and also the recordings are up there as well for a limited time on just some simple things that you can do to improve your health. We've already covered sleep. We've already covered meditation. By the time this goes out, we're actually going through fasting and all of the benefits that come with that. So yes, if health is something you want to improve, thesuccessfulmentalist.com/biohacking.
Boom. There you go. That's it. That's the podcast. That took a turn. We had a lot of emotional ups and downs. I really appreciate you sitting in that ride with us. It was an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. There's 4 call to actions for you because 1's not enough, apparently. And yeah, let's just see you next week. Or in a few days for just a tip.
We'll see you soon, guys. There we are. We'll see you soon. Enjoy the episodes. Enjoy the podcasts. And you guys take care. And take action today.